How you doing, people? Long pause in the beginning because every time I do one of these videos, for some reason, the screen capture that they use always has me with my mouth open, like every video. Hate that. But let's talk about sexual assault. Okay. NFL player Jameis Winston, starting quarterback of the Tampa Bay Bucks, was suspended 3 games this coming 2018 season for sexual assault on an Uber driver that happened in 2016. Jameis Winston was drafted #1 overall in 2015. I don't say the year that it happened. Of course, it's 2018. Because for any other reason other than to give context, because we know that a case can be in court for years before it's there's a verdict brought up. And I don't know if he's been charged legally, or I don't know if he not charged. I don't know if he's been I don't know if he's been charged. I know he's been accused. And he's apologized for it, which means that there could be a court case forthcoming where, he'll actually be held accountable by judicial authorities. But my question is this: 3 game suspension. When the NFL said that domestic abuse claims or conduct was going to get a 6-game suspension. They after the whole Ray Rice debacle and the whole I forgot the guy's name who went on to play for Dallas that beat his girlfriend, his defensive tackle, can't remember his name, and played for the Panthers as well. But what's his name? Greg Hardy, I think, James Hardy, something like that. But from then on, Roger Goodell was like, 6 games, you're suspended 6 games at the very least. Well, turns out that's not always the case, because Ben Roethlisberger, who's been accused twice. Now, accusations are accusations. He was accused in 2010 and he was accused in 2012, I believe, of rape, which the first incident seemed to be a lot more serious. I think charges were dropped in the first one, but he was guilty because, the NFL did their research and they suspended him. Now the second one in 2012, I believe the allegations were dropped. So there was absolutely nothing that was done. Now, allegations can be dropped for several reasons. Could be that she lied. Could be that she looked at the amount of attention she was going to get and decided she didn't want that smoke. Couple different reasons. But he was accused of sexual misconduct at the least 2 times. That type of thing doesn't happen when you are not in places where those type of things can happen, right? Because there's a lot of those are 2 quarterbacks, 2 starting quarterbacks. There's 30 other starting quarterbacks, and there's 64 some odd backups. Maybe even more, probably like 92 something like that, backups, who haven't had that issue. That we haven't heard about that issue from them. Which means that it's possible to live your life as a high-profile athlete and not be accused of raping someone or sexual assault. It's possible. It also is possible, especially we've seen it as a black athlete, to be accused of something that you did not do for many racial reasons, for somebody seeing your potential and trying to make a money grab. We've seen that also. But my question is, okay, Ben Roethlisberger, 6-game suspension, got reduced to 4 years, 4-game suspension. Um, there's been a couple of other football players who've either had their suspensions reduced or did not have a suspension. Jameis Winston has a 3-game suspension. So Roger Goodell is supposed to be this hard commissioner that people can't stand and don't want to get along with. The thing that I question though is if you smoke weed, you'll get a longer suspension than that. If you um, if you violate some other mundane rule by the NFL, you'll get a lesser suspension than that. But if you rape a woman or if you beat a woman, you can get 6-game suspension reduced to like 4 games, or you can get 3 games, depending on how he's feeling that day. So Roger Goodell's really kind of shown what he feels about women and the sexual assault of women. It's not that big a deal. In fact, Ben Roethlisberger got some counseling that was prescribed by the NFL, and that's how he got 2 games taken off of his suspension because he seemed like he was sorry for raping the girl. Yeah. I would be sorry too if I was missing game checks and if people were talking about they may need to trade me and this, I'd be sorry too if I got caught, doing stuff that I ain't got no business doing, raping a woman. I'd be upset about that as well. And as contrite as I needed to be in order to make sure them checks kept coming. But we need to really look at the culture of the NFL and what things that they're saying are acceptable, what things are saying aren't acceptable. It's acceptable for you to sexually assault a woman or even rape a woman. You can still have a job here. We'll still employ you. We may make you miss a couple of checks, but your job is still here waiting for you when you get done serving your suspension and sending out an apology letter. But I mean, you in the NFL has had in its history racists, people who've committed manslaughter by drinking and driving, people who've beat their women. Not just Ray Rice. Ray Rice was just caught on tape. There's been plenty others. Um, Beat on their women, put them in the hospital, raped women, beat up men. The NFL's had a lot of things that they've allowed someone to maintain employment for. The one thing that I know for a fact that they have not allowed somebody to maintain employment for is if they decide to take on black issues as a cause. Colin Kaepernick still doesn't have a job. Eric Reid doesn't have a job because they took a knee to protest police brutality against African Americans. But if you rape a woman or if you beat a woman, we still got a job for you in the NFL. Facts are facts, right? So reason why I won't be watching the NFL this year is because Colin Kaepernick still doesn't have a job. I'm sticking to that. But the notion that the NFL or the attitude that the NFL has towards domestic violence against women or violence against women, period, is making me reconsider whether even if Colin Kaepernick got a job this week, whether I would still want to watch the NFL, whether I would want to support that product. I mean, because not only do I have a daughter, I have a girlfriend, I have a mother, I have aunts, and do I really want to support a institution that says it's not okay for you to protest against police brutality against your own community, But it is okay for you to beat and rape women. What do y'all think?